Good morning. Well, afternoon, I should say. Shoot, it's good afternoon. We are live. How you guys doing? How is everybody faring in this new world that we are living in of the corn of the teens? Good afternoon to my co-host, Dr. L. Teddy. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Lady Nika? Lady Nika said, "Open the door." Well, come on in. We here.
You say open the door.
Open the door. So what how have you been doing? How have you been faring under our new norm, as I should say for right now?
I'm
Have you
faring
told school, hey
well.
Abby?
I'm faring well. I'm hopeful that today, with our broadcast today, that we can help out some of those parents that are clamoring for
Yeah.
things for their children to do, only because a lot of schools that did shut down, they didn't prepare for the amount of time
They didn't.
that
They
they're
didn't.
going to be out of school, which is probably for the remainder of the school year.
Yeah.
It's really looking like it's going to be at the remainder of the school year. So all of you all are going to have to become homeschool parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And let me say this, in fairness to the school districts, a lot of them didn't have a lot of notice. So, and no one was ready for this. I know in my school district, literally, they found out Thursday afternoon, school closed that Monday. So we literally had one day of school to figure it out. And I know my principal, just like I know many other principals, were clamoring, trying to figure it all out. And there are a lot of, we're going to talk about it today and get into some things today, but there are a lot of limitations that are involved in that. Welcome to everybody that's coming in the room. Thank you guys for joining us. Please feel free to drop questions in the chat, and y'all know how we do. We will answer them as we go through. Now, y'all know we have been doing our special education series, but we stepped away from that, and today we're going to bring you. We're going to speak on virtual learning. We're going to speak on homeschooling. We're going to bring you some resources. El Teddy is actually going to even walk you guys through. Um, walk you guys through. Oh, you know what, El Teddy? I should have. Ooh. Anyway, we're going to walk through actually going into a resource that you guys can use. And what I've also done is I've reached out to some of my colleagues. I've reached out to some of my friends who are homeschooling and things of that nature. And we're going to have them on as we go through these next couple of weeks. We're going to try to upload resources for you guys, not long videos, but 10 to 15-minute little snippets, sharing with you guys different things. Again, I know a lot of parents have been thrown into this, and y'all are really, figuring it out. So, El Teddy, you ready to start, or you?
yeah, I am. You want me to start
Oh,
now?
you know what? My fault. Let's do the definition first.
Okay.
So, the one thing I want to share with you guys, we're going to do a screen share. And we're going to go over a definition really quickly, because I think the word homeschooling, virtual learning, has been thrown around. And so I want us to just sort of talk about what that really means, what that really looks like, what homeschooling really looks like. Virtual learning, excuse me. So let me screen share. Okay, we got it. The screen share. You can see right here the definition for. So when we start talking about virtual learning, sorry y'all, we're talking about the delivery of learning with the assistance of interactive technology, and that could be either online or offline. And online obviously are things that you need to connect to the internet for. Offline are things that you can download to your computer that you will be able to access without necessarily having the internet, to connect to it. And then we have distance learning, which is what all of us are doing right now. Everybody is doing distance learning. And these are educational activities with two or more at different locations to be able to connect. Now, I know some school districts are better equipped than others as far as the technology is concerned. My school district, we use Google Classroom. And the problem with Google Classroom, though, is if everybody has the technology to be able to connect to the internet. There's Zoom. There are a lot of different activities. Programs, but you have to figure out what your school district was utilizing, I guess. So I wanted to just kind of throw that up there as a definition, because I think we're throwing around the word virtual learning, and your school sending your child home with a packet saying, do this while y'all are out. That's not virtual learning. That's not what we talk about when we talk about virtual learning. So I want us to understand the difference and really get into. El Teddy, you okay? You're still muted, sir. We can't hear you. So I need you guys, I want you guys to understand that that term is being thrown around. But again, a packet, your child being sent home with a bunch of work to do, that is not distance learning. That is not virtual learning. That is homeschooling. That is your child is at home with whatever packet, resource, whatever, learning. Okay. I'm gonna let El Teddy get himself to. He look like he's in motion, so I'm gonna let him get to where he's going and get settled down. Um, there's nothing wrong. One isn't any better than the other. I just need people to understand what it is that you are doing and what it is you're being asked to do. So El Teddy is going to go through a resource that he used when he was in the classroom on an elementary school level. And then I'm going to go through some best practices and some things that might help you guys if
And
you have older students. Go ahead, El Teddy.
this is going to be the K through 8. So this is elementary and middle school.
Okay, elementary and middle
And the things that we're going to go over today, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, is even if you don't have children, it could be a niece, it could be a nephew, a godson, a goddaughter, your granddaughter, your grandson, because just truthfully speaking, honestly, we know sometimes the parent itself sometimes don't do the right thing. So you have to become pseudo parent, and you have to be able to make sure that learning is continual, because even though we have this crisis, it takes one school year for the learning curve to pass you by, and it could never be recouped. So definitely grandmas, dads, aunts, uncles, godfathers, and godmothers, utilize these resources as you can, as you see fit. And the one that I'm going to show is one where you can kind of, sit them down, have them go through it, and it's geared toward meeting them at their level, and it's geared toward aligning itself to your state standards. It does cover the 4 core courses: English, ELA, I should say, English Language Arts, Math, Science, and Social Studies. So since Really B is the only one of us that can do share screen, I'm going to walk her through it and have her and talk her through it, and you all can.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, I should have had you sign in. I wasn't thinking I should have had you
No,
sign in.
but it's better this way because I can walk you through it because you haven't used it, and that'll be like walking the everyone else through it. So if you all can really well, I'm going to put the website in the chat so that Really B can perhaps pin it to the or pin it on the screen. And while she's putting that up, this was something that I found out about, I would say probably about 8 or 9 years ago, probably around 2011, 2012. And I was looking for resources that would help my students at home, that I could monitor what they were doing, as well as know that it was good, wholesome instruction that met them on their level, to kind of remediate a lot of my ELL learners and some of my special needs students. And I found that it worked with all of my students that were low performing, and we kind of adopted it. So this is the website. It's called MobyMax.com. And like I said, it does give remediation and tutorials and how-tos, and it does help the student with a lot of different best practices and a lot of different mechanisms and pedagogy within there, so that you don't have to necessarily do the instruction, but the instruction can truly happen virtually. So I'm going to have Really B go in there, and it says start using MobyMax now free. So she's going to scroll down. She's going to create a name.
Okay, give me a quick second. Hold on, give me a quick second. Okay. I'm ready to rock. Oh, that's my fault. I forgot to. Okay. All right. I'm on. Let me go back to the website.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't
MobyMax
even put the
Learning.
website up because I'm not.
Can y'all see it? Can y'all see? Can you see
I
me?
don't think that I am a I don't think that I am a mod on our channel, so I
Mm.
can't.
Wait a minute. I don't even have you modded on the channel.
No, so I
Oh
can't
Lord,
even
type
put the
something.
website.
Put something in the chat. It'll say something. Mod you up.
I ain't nobody.
Lord have mercy. You ain't a mod on your own
Yeah,
channel. That's bad.
I ain't
Okay.
nothing. I ain't nobody.
Abby says she can't help with the math, girl. I understand. That's why we're gonna help y'all with some resources. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, this is K through 8, and there are even some ninth graders.
Did you type something else, Teddy, in the chat?
That there are even some ninth graders that have issues with some of the stuff on here. Even if you have a ninth or 10th grader, there is stuff on here that goes that goes as high as ninth and 10th grade when you get to the upper level 8th grade stuff. So it's designed that way because you may have an 8th grader, but they may be above grade level. And so that may be
I'm waiting for you to type something else.
I did, and it's not going to come on because I'm not a mod.
I mean, just type test something.
Oh,
Type
you mean type anything? Oh, okay. Just type anything, not a link.
Yeah, so because it'll be easier for me to do it that way.
Okay. But yeah, today is Sunday, and if you want, you can start them as early as tomorrow. So that's why I'm glad we're doing this on Sunday. And you can say, all right, I done got you signed up for this thing. Okay, every day, Monday through Friday, from 11 to 2, I need you over here on this, and and you can actually monitor the amount of time that they're on there, and you can monitor the amount of time that they're on there, and all of that stuff. So
why is it not letting me?
I mean, it's okay. Can we just get Abby or somebody to type it in because it's gonna take.
Okay, yeah, Abby, can you type in? Hold on. You want me to type in this website, the MobyMax website?
Yeah, that's all I was doing was trying to get it.
Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not letting me mod you though.
But that's fine. We could do that later. But I need you to focus so we can have the keep people follow along.
Focus.
That's all we got.
That's you guys. You know, I'm easily distracted.
I know. That's why bringing you back.
Y'all know I got my own little learning disability.
Okay, now scroll down. Scroll down on the screen, ma'am. I need to grab the mouse.
Look, calm down. I can only do one thing at a time. Can y'all see me scrolling?
Okay, now change the option to homeschool, and it should prompt you a little pop up. Go down. Go back down. Go back down. Right there. You're going too fast. You're going too fast, ma'am. Go up a little bit more. Go up. Go up. Go up some more. Now you see where it has teacher selected there?
Got you. Homeschool.
Change that to homeschool. Now read that message for us. Can you read that for us.
Homeschool students love MobyMax and learn twice as fast. To get started after you create your teacher account, first register your children as students. Your children will sign in to do their schoolwork with the username and password that you assign. You will sign in as their teacher to monitor and assign their lessons.
All right. Go ahead and click continue. All right. So, yes.
Okay.
Click register free. Oh, I'm sorry. Put a name, you know.
We're going to put the state. We'll put in Maryland because that's where, you know. We're going to use the teacher project email address. 2.0 at gmail.com. Create a password. Password.
You're also going to have to put your name. So we're going to call ourselves Mary Instructor. That would be our name.
Mary. Oh, Lord.
So interactive.
I know we trying. We trying to do these things. Okay, register free. All right.
Mhm.
We'll save that password because I'll forget. All right.
All right. Now it says register your students, right? And that's where you would go. So our first student we're going to select is going to be Johnny Bravo, the cartoon character. So
Okay.
we'll have Johnny Bravo. We'll say Johnny Bravo's in third grade. So we're going to start with Johnny Bravo. He'll be in third grade.
All right.
Okay.
It's not letting me. Hold on. It's not letting me type. What am I doing wrong?
Click next. Click next. Click next. Okay. Click next. It's giving you a little tutorial.
Oh, I see. Got you. Got you. Got you. So finish. Okay.
Finish.
I see.
Yes. Now
So
put Johnny. That's his first name. And then last name will be Bravo. We'll put third grade. And then his username will put J Bravo and whatever year he was born. Let's say Johnny Bravo. If he's in third grade, he's got to be what? 8 years old. So that puts him at 2012. Okay. J Bravo 2012. There we go. And that'll be his username, J Bravo 2012.
Okay.
Now it's important that you give them their username and passwords because you got to think ahead of students. This is teacher telling us, parent, how to be teacher. What you end up doing is you got to be able to go in and monitor yourself because they'll lie to you and say anything. Now, this does have reports and stuff where you can actually go in and see how much time they logged in, whether or not they really did the work or not. But I'm just telling you, because they'll forget their password. What's my password again? Did you give me? No, I got it. And so you need to have a mechanism.
Yeah, you definitely need to keep
change to be able to reset and change for them their username and password. So go ahead and we're gonna put the same one, J Bravo 2012 as the password.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And we'll just do that one. Just so let's click finish just for now, because you can always go back and add.
Right.
All right. So it's very user friendly. It gives you little pop-ups that shows you, okay, this is what you click to do this. This is what you click to do there. What does step one say? It says have your students go to your unique school.
You want me to click on that now?
Yes.
Okay.
And what happens is go ahead, click. You can click that now. Did you click?
I clicked it. You see
Okay, I'm sorry. What you'll have to go ahead and scroll down for me, please. I'm sorry. Because with the homeschooling is, and I'm going to say this, I'm telling you to use the homeschool option, but actually, if you wanted to, you could actually have your child click on the school that they attend in their particular state and city, because it does have all of the schools around the country in all of the states and across the country. But
you can't see it.
Okay. Is you would have to do it in conjunction with their teacher. And because you don't necessarily you aren't in school right now, the teacher may or may not be familiar with it. It's much easier to do it this way.
Okay. I could see that screen, but you couldn't see it. My bad. So yeah, okay. So now I'm on the sign-in screen. And you have the option to sign in as a student, teacher, parent, school administrator, or district administrator. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. This is a really nice resource. Cool.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, my school adopted it and my principal purchased it. It was a very nominal fee. But our entire what they're doing up there, English department kind of began using it. The math department started using it. So it was a great resource. And you actually sign up through the school and the school monitors it. And so it was a way for us to in addition to some of the resources that our district did for us, this was a way for us to do it. Ma'am? Hello?
Yeah.
Everybody's watching you and we want you to kind of sign up.
You were talking.
Oh, no. I was talking to kind of give you an opportunity to
Oh, well,
finish.
you didn't listen. I'm following instructions, teacher.
Oh,
You never
okay,
said
go
sign
ahead.
in. You were just talking. Okay.
Sign in as Johnny Bravo, J Bravo
Okay.
2012.
Now you gave me instructions, so that's what I will do. What I do? JBR. Oh, I spelled Bravo wrong. How about that? How about that? All right, here we go. Can you see the screen or does it?
Yeah, we see it
Okay, I just wanted because the last time it didn't move, so I want to make sure you
now.
see the right screen.
What usually, and when I've had students go in, generally what it does is it starts them with a pretest to kind of gauge and get a level for them to get what grade level they're working on. So what I usually have the students do is, for example, if you click math, click math.
I'm clicking it. I'm clicking it. And so it should automatically be set to third grade level math, right?
It'll start them at third grade, and then based on how they answer on the placement test, it's going to make the questions either easier or harder, based on where they are. And that way, until it gets to a point where it knows what grade level they're on within third grade or even lower than third grade. Because just so you know, most grade levels have about 7 levels. So you might go 3.1, 3.2, all the way to 3.7. Sometimes it goes to 3.9, but that's all within third grade.
How many more blocks need to
until
be
it gets to the next grade level?
10 blocks. Alan had 2 marbles and found 3 more. How many marbles does Alan have?
I'm just putting in answers.
Yeah, and you may not be able to finish it right now, really be, but because it actually takes you through a whole.
Oh, it's real long.
It's sometimes it long. It's just dependent on the student. Sometimes for some students it takes longer. Sometimes for some students it takes shorter, and that's dependent on the answers that they're giving and how it gauges what they're doing. And so forth like that. And so
see, it'll stop where I hit that home button and it let me stop, and it'll say that it's still in progress. So you can always come back to it. Okay.
And you can it'll start them right back where they were. And so you can monitor it and you can have them show you, okay, let me see the screen that showed you is done. Don't let them tell you it's done. Don't let them tell you, oh, I clicked off the screen. You tell them when you get to the screen where it says it's done, you stop. Don't click nothing else because I need to see it myself. And you can watch it. And there are reports that you can get to go back in. But I just wanted to show you that. Now, do me a favor, log off.
Let's close the screen, log off, or log out? You mean like
log out, I should say, and log back in as the teacher.
Okay. Okay. Can y'all see the screen? Okay, you can see the screen. Okay. All right.
All right. So, is that the teacher one?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Go to, I believe it's Quick Checker. Yeah.
Okay. And want me to click on the math to see what's going on with that?
Mm-hmm. But there's another, but yeah, click on that for now. I'm just trying to remember. It's been a while since I've been in a classroom doing this. But what I wanted to show was there are actual reports that will show you, that can show you, hey, Johnny signed in on this day and he was on there for 12 minutes or 14 minutes and stuff like that. Where it gives you all of those things that you can look and see. You can see where he was. See how
right
Johnny Bravo right there?
You see it right here? Snapshot.
Click on his name. Click on this hyperlink. All right. So he hasn't been assigned anything yet because we're waiting for him to do the placement. When he gets done with the placement test, it'll give us a thing and it'll say, oh, okay, you're ready to go in and you're ready to assign him a thing, or it'll automatically do it. Even if you don't assign it, the program will automatically do it for him. And if you don't want to get caught up in all of the minutia of, okay, L Teddy really be, I don't know all that teacher stuff. Can I just have him go in there and do it? Yes, you certainly can. But what you want to do is every time they go on there, don't let Johnny or Janet just say, oh, I finished and I clicked off. No, don't let them finish and click off. You say, okay, let me see the screen that says that you're done. And that way you can continue to monitor their process, because on that screen that tells you they're done, it's also going to show you the percentage that they got and how well they did. And even if you don't know the ins and out of whatever they're studying, you can say, okay, a 50% is not good. I need you to have an 80% or higher on this.
Right.
So have them take it seriously and, make it like, y'all have as parents or family members or relatives, you have a lot more leeway. As teachers, we can't. You can say, well, baby, you can't do nothing until you get this done. Now you can go back through and do another one, because see, what'll happen is as they go through the lessons, if they don't master that skill, they're going to give them another lesson. It won't be the exact same. It'll be the same skill, but it'll be a different example or a different story or a different math project. So it's going to keep them on that level until they've mastered it and they can move on to the next. So that's what makes it good. Is it doesn't just keep going on. It tries to remediate them. And sometimes it may even lower them, because it may say, okay, that was a little too high for them. So let me so make sure that they're going through, and it's worthwhile instruction. And like I said, I don't want to get too caught up into the fine details. Like if somebody just wants me to, I can actually walk you through all of the different reports or how to assign an assignment and all of that. But at this point, we're just trying to give you some resources that are right there, that are quick, that are fast, and can allow you to do it. And the good thing about this is, if you remember when Really Be signed up, she had to put her state in, and that means that all of the assignments are going to be aligned to your particular state, because we know each state has its own set of standards that a lot of them use Common Core, but there are some states that use different from Common Core or have their own version of
Right.
Common Core or some facsimile of it. So you definitely want it to align, so you know that the standards are the same. And so I just wanted to show you all that real quick, and let you know that it's easy to sign up for and have your kids put on there. And it could be a daily, it could be 2 hours. You could set aside 2 hours. Okay, today you're doing 2 hours. And you're going to do math and reading today. Or you say tomorrow, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're doing an hour ELA and an hour of math. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're doing an hour of science and an hour of social studies. However you want to do it. It also has things like writing and stuff in there as well that you can have them do as well. So it's just different things. We wanted to give you a resource. And that, like I said, that's K through 12. I also know a lot of teachers that utilize the program to give students in terms of homework assignments, and that way it's worthwhile remediation for students, and it's aligned to standards. And that's what's important. It's one thing to say, oh, I'm gonna just give a student this, but you want things that are aligned to the standards within your district and your state, and so forth. All right, and that's my part.
And thank you very much. A lot of that, I mean, LTD, that's a great resource that I didn't know anything about. And I like the way it's set up. As an educator, there are a lot of things that are embedded in there. Like the pretest, that's education best practices. The first thing any teacher should do before they start doing anything is do an assessment to see what's going on, where everybody is. Like that's perfect. Okay. And that's definitely, and like that really rolls into what I was going to go over with you guys. I wanted to just go over just a basic resource in reference to some best practices for your homeschooling when you have older kids. Hope he's okay. Let me pull up let me pull up the resource I wanted to share with you guys. And again, y'all know we don't hold y'all long, so we're gonna get you in and get you out. But I wanted to share this resource with you guys because I know what I've been noticing a lot of is people are just like at their wits end. They're like, I don't know what to do with my churn. I don't know what's going on. Teachers, you rock. Like, y'all are really appreciating us and loving us. But I just want to share some best practices for you guys with what you're doing, what you're dealing with your students. Okay, so this is and we're going to put the link for the website. The Moby website will be in the description box, and then I'll put the link for this as well. But I just want to go over a couple of things with you guys as far as best practices are concerned. So first of all, and this is from a blog. This is from a homeschooling blog. First and foremost, let's start here. Slow and steady wins the race. Here's the thing, you guys. We are going to be home for a minute. We don't know how long, but let me just be clear with y'all. Don't hold your breath that you're going to be going back to school anytime soon. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't want to upset anybody, but do not feel like y'all have to do a whole school year worth of stuff in whatever time you are dealing with right now. Like right now, Maryland, we're supposed to go back to work next Monday. I'm not holding my breath that we're going back to work next Monday, but slow and steady wins the race. You guys come up with what you're going to do. If you have to only can go a day at a time, sometimes maybe you can only go an hour at a time. Okay. But figure that out for yourself. Start simple and establish a routine. Think about what your kids do at school every day. There's a routine. They come in at a certain time. They go to first period. They go to second period. They go to lunch. They go to third period. They go to fourth period. And if you're not familiar with what your kid's schedule is at school, have them write it down. And you can adjust it for what is realistic to your home environment, but have them write their schedule down for you. I know at my high school, we have an A day and a B day schedule. So if you do, we have 75-minute classes. Instead of being in class for 75 minutes or 90 minutes, that may not be realistic in a homeschool setting. You know what I'm saying? How can you adjust it? But try to establish a routine that works for you guys. Have breakfast at the same time every morning, lunch at the same time every day, and do it that way. And keep it simple. Don't try to do, again, don't try to do 50,000 things at one time. Let go of traditional school conventions. You can't do at home what we do at school, nor should you. You have the luxury of dealing with your kids, knowing your kids and your kids' personalities and what works for them. You should not be trying to mimic what we do. Like I just said, you might not be able to do a 90-minute class period, but at school, that's what we do. But you may not be able to do that with your kids. So don't even try to establish that as a norm for your homeschooling environment, especially since you guys have sort of been thrown into the fire. Remember, keep this thing simple as possible. Be consistent. Kids are going to follow your lead. If you wake up at a different time every morning, and sometimes breakfast is at 8 and sometimes breakfast is at 9, sometimes y'all doing math for 10 minutes, sometimes you're trying to do math for an hour, they are going to follow what you put out. So try to be consistent with whatever schedule you establish. Again, we know that nothing is perfect. Life happens, adjustments have to be made, but try to stay as consistent as possible. Now, number 6 is important. Say no whenever possible. You guys, you have to try to keep a strict environment. Because again, there are way more distractions in a home environment than they have at school. And you've got to make sure that that's number 7, you are minimizing the distractions. Be consistent, say no, and minimize the distractions. Okay? Number 8 is important. Collaborate. Go on. Listen, I don't know. Everybody's school situation is different. But go onto your school website, email, tell your kids, call their friends. Let me talk to their parents. Let's try to figure this out together. We don't have to reinvent the wheel in a silo. your students, I mean your kids have friends in their class. Call them and say, let me talk to their mom, let me talk to their dad. Let's figure out a schedule that works for everybody. Let's make sure we're all trying to cover the same information. Abby said early on in the chat, math ain't her thing. Find a parent where math works for them. Figure out how y'all can do this together so that if math is your strong suit and English is her strong suit, collaborate. What were you gonna say, El Teddy?
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Can the chat hear me?
I don't know.
Because I'm not on screen right now.
You're on. Hold on. Let me put you on screen. Sorry. There you go. I think the chat can hear you though.
Oh, I didn't think they could hear me. Please
put a one in the chat if y'all can hear El Teddy, please.
They can hear me now, but before it was just you and
oh really? You were muted? I didn't realize you were muted.
Thing. Well, let me say this. Especially if you are 9 through 12, if your son or daughter is 9 through 12, that is the point in a child's educational career where a lot of times the parent may not be able to assist with the homework or the instruction, because now it's very specialized and it's very targeted, where you have to, really know that material. And so it becomes very important that if you just don't know, you just don't know. And sometimes if you try to wing it or make it up, you could do more damage than you can help. And so if you are just that lost, send us an email.
Yeah.
We have friends in every field of education that there is. If we cannot answer it, we have experts in the field that certainly can get you to an answer. Okay. And so definitely don't sit there and allow yourself. It may be a situation where you may have to say, you know what, we'll continue this tomorrow. And then you come and you reach out and you get help, but don't get stuck and just try to wing it, because you could end up doing more damage than helping. I know, especially in areas such as math. Math is an area where you got to know the process. It's not just enough to know the answer, but a math teacher will tell you the process is way more important than perhaps sometimes the answer. And so please, when in doubt, reach out. When in doubt, reach out. My other advice, do not allow your child to keep their phone on them. If they are doing work, you take their phone from them. Phones are not their friends. And they'll lie to you and say, oh, I'm going to use my phone because I could go to this and it'll help me. No, they're not. Do not let them keep their phones. I'm telling you, don't let them keep their phones. You also need to periodically just pop in and monitor them. Let me see what you want. Let me see how many screens you got up, because they're good for hiding the screen.
Oh, they're hiding the screen.
The program up. As soon as you walk out the door, they're going back to that other program.
Check your tab. Look at what at the bottom of the screen and at the top of the screen.
In addition to that being consistent, you want to be vigilant. You got to be vigilant and monitor them, because they're used to this. And teachers, we're much more used to them finding all of the ways that they find to try to cheat.
Right.
You as parents may not be. You may not know that little Johnny know every way to get out of doing something. Yeah. And so that's why I say you take their phones from them, and you cannot do this where, okay, I'm gonna have you go in there and then I'll be back in an hour, because they're not going to be focused for an hour.
Right. Yeah. Do what you say you're going to do. Do not underestimate your child's resiliency into avoiding something. They will put way more effort into avoiding getting something done than just doing it. And please don't underestimate their stamina in trying to figure out how to get around something. You understand what I'm saying? Like, please don't underestimate it, because in your mind, you're thinking you could have just been done. You've been playing for 2 hours. You could have been done already. They don't care.
They don't
care.
They really don't. But I want to say that, especially when you get into the maths and the sciences, people automatically think, oh, okay, I know math and science, I may not can help them. But even if your child is 10th grader and above, a lot of that English and social studies, even for 10th grade and above, is very specialized and has a lot of specificity with regard to what they need to learn and how they need to be instructed on those things. So it's very important that when in doubt, or if you're unsure, if you say, oh, I ain't did that in how long, you may need to reach out to someone, because things may have changed and there may be different methodology for attacking a particular subject area.
Especially in states that are practicing Common Core. There's a whole different thing when you're dealing with Common Core as far as what the expectation is on how things should be done. Again, like El Teddy said, not just getting the right answer, but what was your process in getting to that answer, especially with the math. As a whole thing with that. And we don't have time to get into the Common Core issue today, but just know, and again, talk to your kids. They will tell you, well, Mrs. So-and-so says that we have to do it X, Y, Z. We have to show our work, or it has to be done this way. Or they will tell you. You got to ask the right questions, but they will definitely tell you what it is that they need to know and the way it's supposed to look. So definitely do that. So, but El Teddy, just for the record, they could hear you even when you weren't on screen. They could still hear you.
Oh,
so
okay.
Let you know. Okay. Number 9 says make books a part of your day every day. Listen, y'all, and that can go for any grade level. Again, go to your district if you're not sure what is age appropriate, what your kids should or should not be reading. Go to your district's website. Every district somewhere, now it might be buried deep, but somewhere on their website, there's an approved reading list or a suggested reading list. Again, it might be buried. You might have to go into the search and play around with reading lists, 9th grade reading list, 10th grade, but somewhere it will tell you books that are suggested. A lot of the classics are under not eminent domain. What's it called, El Teddy, where it's free? What's it?
I almost said eminent domain myself. Now that you got that,
it's not eminent domain, but it's
to make a long story short, as an English teacher, most of the classics you can get for free.
Yeah. Okay. Just
and if you need resources, just hit me up. Anything regarding the English spectrum, writing on English, that I have, limitless resources on, and I have limited resources from 6 through 12. So if you have, and I could probably go further down in the elementary if you pressed me, but I know 6 through 12, I have limitless resources with regard to that. Even in states that I may not have instructed in, the classics are the classics. Even though the standards may have different nomenclature and numbers to them, it's still ELA, and it's still the standard. So those things as well. And especially, and I always have to put this in there, if your child is high functioning, those are the worst ones, because they're easily distracted. Yeah. They will get over on you so much faster than you think. So definitely you want to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And you're right. The high functioning, absolutely. Because child, okay.
Because you'll give them an assignment and they will do it very fast. And you thought that assignment was going to take them an hour, and it took them 15 minutes. And now they spent 45 minutes doing nothing.
Abby just put up here, most classics are free on Amazon Kindle app. And again, most of them are free. And even if it's not one of the classics, most of the books are not going to be real expensive. Another website, and I'm going to post this link as well. Throughout the week, I'm going to be, as I think of more resources, I'm going to post little short videos. I'm not going to do long, hour-long videos, but little short clips. But Overdrive is a app that is linked to your library. Now, right now, because the libraries are closed, if you're not already set up on Overdrive, I don't know if you'll be able to, but if you've been using Overdrive, you can, if you have your library card, you should be able to link in, but some places you may or may not, but try it. The worst that can happen is that it don't work right now, but it connects to your library, your local library, and you can download books to your Kindle app. And it's the same as going into the library and checking the book out. It downloads, and when it's over, it disappears off your Kindle. You don't have to worry about paying no fees. And you can renew it if it's eligible for you to renew. You can renew it. Also, Audible is another. Now you do have to pay for Audible, but again, where your students can listen to the books. So definitely want to incorporate. And again, you can add that into your schedule and say, okay, we're going to have an hour of quiet reading. We used to call it deer time when I worked in middle school. Drop everything and read. So we would have 15, 20 minutes of dear time at the beginning or at the end of the day or what have you. And everybody had a book that they had to read. So somehow, incorporate that in. And last but not least, it says yes, be mom, but I'm gonna change that to yes, be parent, because we don't want to assume that it's only moms that are going to be taking on this project over the next couple of months. But yes, you are still the parent. You are in charge. At the end of the day, you are still in charge. And so again, like El Teddy said, please, please, please do not get caught up. It's okay to say no. It's okay to, you know what I mean? Remember, this is what they do Monday through Friday, all day, every day. This is what they do. So going to a situation where you're letting them watch TV all day or Netflix and chill or TikTok or whatever, you're not doing anybody any favors. And I don't want to scare anybody, but I really want to I need you guys to understand what I'm saying. And El Teddy, I already said it at the beginning. It is so easy for kids to fall behind. A lot of kids aren't even already on grade level. But if they are on grade level, or even if they're above, it is so easy. And a lot of kids, and we see some school districts have already canceled school for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about third and fourth quarter is gone.
And make no bones about it, our white counterparts, people descended from the Caucasus Mountains, not all of them, but some of the more affluent ones, are making sure that education and instruction continues every day. And we need to make sure that we hold our own accountable, because they're not expecting us to.
Yeah.
They're not expecting us to. And so we have to have higher expectations of ourselves and of our own children with regard to their education. We should be taking it seriously.
Yeah. And a lot of these, we're not going to hold you guys too much longer, but a lot of these resources have tiers. Mm-hmm. They have a free version. And then, of course, with anything, they have that VIP, that upcharge, whatever. You can get a lot of stuff out of these resources off the free version. You do not have to pay and buy these subscriptions to get into the higher. So please, you guys, please, this resource.
But if you do but I'm not going to discourage you. If you do find something that's worthwhile, and you know that it is a good resource, and you do want to get all of the bells and whistles, if you pay for Netflix once a month and Hulu and cable subscriptions for Little Johnny and Little Janet, why not also invest in Little Johnny and Little Janet's educational path as well? So I definitely agree with
absolutely. That. Now I'm just saying, I don't want the first thing, and I'm
we
just
don't want you to be discouraged.
Yeah, I'm gonna call a spade. The first thing people want to say is what they can't afford. Now, There'll be the same ones whose kids got an iPhone 12 and wearing Jordans, but they can't afford a $12 subscription. Now, I'm gonna call a spade right now. I'm just going to we're gonna be real. We're gonna have a real conversation. So don't be discouraged from it. I just don't want people to use that excuse to say, I don't have the money for this, I don't have the money for that. There are a lot of free resources out there that you guys can avail yourselves of. But yes, a lot of those resources are worth the money. They are. They're absolutely worth putting in the money. But like I said, I just don't want anybody to be discouraged.
Let that not be your excuse.
Yeah, let that not be the excuse. There you go.
But like I said, if you want, because I know myself and really we do have a lot of free time now. But utilize, if you just really need, hey, can y'all send me something for such and such? Okay, no problem. Tell us the subject area and the grade level of the child, and we will
definitely. You. The email is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I have access to it. El Teddy has access to it. There's a list of free subscriptions on Facebook. See, Miss Alicia Brown, if you could, do you mind emailing me that link that you're talking about with the free subscriptions on Facebook? If you can email it to me, and I'll make sure I include that.
Star Bell for special education students. For any student, whether they're special education or not, it's important for us to know the grade level of that student. That's always important. And just send us an email. And if we don't have resources, we have, like I said, limitless numbers of friends. I know Discovering Des was in the chat at one point, and he still may be in the bushes. He teaches special education as well. And it also depends on what their what their disability is, if they have disability, but it just depends on what their disability is and what accommodations need to be made for that child.
And honestly, that resource that El Teddy, again, based depending on the disability, that resource that El Teddy just went over with you guys, it will help, again, depending on the disability, because that pre-test will tell you where your child is. Mm-hmm. So even if technically they're in the 3rd grade, but let's say they have an accommodation because they're testing on 1st grade level, the resources, once they take the pre-assessment, even if it takes a couple of days to get that pre-assessment done and you have to sit with them, once the pre-assessment is done, then whatever resources are generated, activities are generated,
it'll meet them at their level.
Be on that grade level.
It'll meet them at their level.
Yeah. Again, it depends on the disability, so that's not a catch-all.
And also it depends on the accommodations, because I know some students they need to have stuff read to them, or maybe the font size have them. So those those are specificities that we would need to know. But definitely, if we can help, we will.
And again, Starbell, I say to you, or to parents, I'm not saying to you, to parents who have students with special needs, pull that IEP out that some of you may or may not have really read, and go through that IEP and see what accommodations your child get in school. If they get extra time, make sure you're accommodating that. If they, El Teddy talked about that last week on the show we did last week when he was talking about the kid that he had to enhance all of the activities to, what was it, El Teddy, 75% or something like that? What did you have to enhance
I think it was 68-point font or bigger.
Yeah, so know what your child's accommodation is.
Right. It was so crazy.
If it's that they have to be read to, then that means you're going to have to sit there. Welcome to our world. That means you're going to have to sit there and read the information to them. If it means that they get extended time, then that's what you have to make sure you're giving them, or whatever the accommodation is. Also, again, I cannot stress enough, stay disciplined. Your kids are not allowed to get up every 15 minutes and go to the bathroom and go to the refrigerator, go get a snack, take a phone call from their best friend. They're not allowed to do that in school. Yeah. Do not allow them to when you set a schedule and say from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock is going to be school time. Then from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock, it's shut down. Do not allow.
This may come out harsh. They know every trick in the book.
Yeah,
if they know they have special needs, they're going to lean on that special needs to pull on your heartstrings and make you not give them, or make you not, as disciplined with them. Oh, can I go take my I used to have a student all the time. Every time she came to class, I need to go take my medication. Dear one, you won't be taking that today, because I told you to take it before you came to this class. You know what I'm saying?
And let me tell you, not to be nasty, but girls, they think that they're the only one. They think they're the only ones that have ever had a menstrual cycle. And I swear, I have students who I feel like they on a menstrual cycle every week. Again, y'all, they can manage it any other time. They can manage it now.
They come into class. Oh, I got cramps today. Can I just put my head down? No, ma'am. No, you cannot. If you need to call home. Now you can call home and have your mama come take you home. That's a whole different ball game. But and now they can't do that. They are home.
Right.
So you have to be disciplined and say, stop playing with me. Go in there and get it done.
And most teachers, I know for myself, I speak for myself, I am on the clock. Technically, I'm on the clock from the same time in the morning, from 7:50 to 3:20, I'm expected to be available. Do not hesitate to reach out to your kids' teachers. They are on the clock. I can't speak for every single district across the United States, but I think I can confidently speak for most of them and say that teachers are expected to be available.
Also, if you go to the parent gradebook, your gradebook resource, it generally has the email address for the teacher linked to that. So your teachers are still a great resource. They may have specific resources that they can direct you to for your specific area, and definitely for the 9 through 12 to answer those questions that you may have, or to supply you with, go to this website or go to this resource, and that'll help your child explain it for your child and things like that. But definitely you should be able to get in contact with that teacher Some way you might have to go to your district website, and most district website you could type in, they have a employee search or find, and you can find that employee, you can get their email address. But definitely your child's online parent portal or your parent gradebook situation, they have to have a district email address for you to be able to contact that teacher.
Yeah. And let me say this to you, Below, I see your comment. Let me be honest with you, Below. I don't have the bandwidth right now to add anything else to my plate. But I will say this. Feel free to take this link and drop it wherever you feel like it would be helpful. Any parent group you're a part of, any Facebook group, put it on your own Facebook page. Please, you guys, feel free, wherever you feel like, because I can't speak for El Teddy, I can't speak for Discovering Dads, but I don't have the bandwidth right now to add anything else. And it may not seem like a big deal to say, oh, it's just a Facebook. It's something else I got to log into and update and add and link it. I don't have the bandwidth right now. I'm just being honest with you. But feel free to take this link and put it wherever you feel like it would be useful to someone. And I mean that. And tell them to feel free to reach out to me. I'm, by all means. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Lady Nika, for sharing this on your YouTube page and bringing your people over. I appreciate anybody that came through from Lady Nika's side of the street.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you, Lady Nika. Anybody that came, and thank you.
I think LT froze
definitely want resources for you before, because I know we're about to get off in another minute.
Yeah.
If you don't email, send us an email, and if we cannot answer it, we certainly will get you an answer, because we have, so many resources. And like we said, your child's teacher should be available to you during this time.
Yeah. And with that being said, the last thing I'm gonna add, and then I'm gonna let El Teddy have the last word. The last thing I'm gonna add is we plan to drop resources as we go through this. Again, I ain't promising every day, but I am promising that we are going to bring you more resources, little quick drops. We don't, little quick little things to put here and there for you guys. We don't have a community wall on this channel yet because we're not at the subscribership to have a community wall. So I can't post stuff on the community wall, but I will upload resources. I'm keeping a list as I think of stuff. I'm writing a list down of different resources I use in my classroom. I know El Teddy is brainstorming. He thought of this resource he talked about yesterday. So we're thinking about it. I've reached out to friends, colleagues that also are in education and asking them to share some best practices. So we're going to try to help you guys. We know that you guys are kind of been thrown into the fire, whether you want it to be or not. But please understand please don't take this lightly. With everything else going on, your child's education is important. And the last thing you want is for them to start school next year and them just not be prepared. It's a lot. So El Teddy, I'm gonna give you the last words, sir.
My last words, once again, stay vigilant, stay disciplined. Because just your child is vigilant on not doing anything and playing video games all day or staying on social media all day, you need to stay just as vigilant and disciplined with them. And that's just the long and short of it. And if that means that you have to come off of your own social media for an hour or two, come off of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or whatever, and say, nope, these 2 hours of the day, I'm going to sit down with my son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter, niece, nephew, godson, goddaughter, or just friend of the family, or just some knucklehead that I decide to snatch up and have them do some schoolwork. Then do that. Devote every day. Nope, these are my 2 hours. Don't call me. Don't bother me. I'm putting my phone on, do not disturb and silent.
Absolutely.
Just like, an instructor, when we're at work as teachers, we put our phones on.
Exactly.
Really, people tell you, I turn my phone all the way off.
Yeah, El Teddy is not available when he's at work.
I'm not available at all.
He cusses us out on a regular basis when he turns his phone on and all of these group chat messages pop up. He's like, what in the world were y'all talking about today?
Yeah.
Because El Teddy is not available.
I'm off the grid. And so you have to have that same mentality. Yeah. It is important. It is a worthwhile venture.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she I said she, you have to be as vigilant as what you expect your child to be. And that's just real talk. Like I said, I'm gonna come at y'all straight with no chaser. I appreciate all the accolades I've been seeing, people posting on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook about how teachers rock and how much I love teachers and appreciate teachers, and how all of the jokes and memes and stuff are cute, and I appreciate it. Let it translate to my paycheck. Jesus be offense. However, at the end of the day, I really, really need y'all to take this seriously, and I need you to be vigilant, because again, I can't stress to you enough. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got some news this week that broke my heart. I'm not even gonna lie. It broke my heart. My AP kids, we have been busting our
There's no AP testing
all year long.
That's
we have been busting our butts all year long for this AP exam, and they have reduced, and some places this isn't even available, but in other places they have reduced the AP exam to a 45-minute exam online if your school meets the criteria. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, the reality is they're going to throw the whole thing out. Let's be clear. They're going to throw the whole thing out. There's no way they can hold that accountable.
They're not going to let you do it from home at all, by no stretch of the imagination.
No.
And then with them shutting everything down, you're not going to be able to go somewhere and get it done. Oh, it's going to be canceled. It's going to be shut down.
And when you have a class where the whole purpose of the class is to get ready for a test that now nobody's going to take, and El Teddy understands because he taught AP. That did something to me this week. It hurt my feelings, and I felt for my kids. And I'm actually setting up a conference situation for my kids this week, so I can just kind of talk to them about it, and we just kind of take it from there. But I just can't stress to you guys enough. I just can't stress it. So with that being said, you said the lady speaking, does she have a link to sub? What do you mean, to sub this channel? Carrie Cecil, what's your question? I'm sorry, I want to make sure I answer your question before I click off. You said
while she's getting that, also please understand, and I've said this 12 times this live, and I'm gonna say it again. If you need help, if you need resources, if you don't understand something or you have a question, please send us an email. Please do that, because like I said, I'm someone who has worked at the district level where I have helped the teachers get resources and help the teachers know how to teach their students. So I'm telling you, when we say we have limitless, really B has worked as a school site administrator. So we're not just talking out of the side. We actually work in this thing. I, develop curriculum maps and all the scope and sequences and stuff for whole districts and stuff like that. So we have the resources. Just please be sure that you reach out and don't sit there and think that you know, because sometimes when you think you could be doing more harm than you are helping. And so that's very important. That's the last thing I'm going to say.
All right. Last but not least, El Teddy, I don't know if I have to figure out how to mod you. I don't know how to mod you, but thank you, Abby. Abby dropped the link to my YouTube channel. Abby, can you drop the link to El Teddy's YouTube channel as well? And I'm gonna give everybody a chance to please, if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, El Teddy's YouTube channel, please go on over and check us out. We do different things over there. This is our education side, and the other side is reviews and other things. But we all stuck in the house, so let us entertain you, honey. El Teddy, I'll definitely have to figure out how to mod you. I don't know why it's not letting me do it, but we're gonna get you straight, boo. But there's my link. There's El Teddy's link. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do me like that, El Teddy. Don't do
mine
me
is youtube.com/LTeddy27 official. If you put that in, it'll come up. youtube.com/LTeddy27.
Yeah, Abby dropped it. Abby dropped it in the link. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Hey, Blue Cartier.
Your thing really be it was making that noise, the dog whistle noise thing.
I don't know why. I have to figure out what it's doing and why it's doing it. Is it gone?
No, it's still there.
All right, we're gonna shut it down anyway, you guys. Thank you. Peace. I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I need to figure out why it's doing that. I don't know how to